Hi, and thanks for watching another instructional video for CSCI 1300. In this video, we will talk about random number generation and the difference between truly random and pseudo-random numbers. In C++, there is a thing called a random number generator, which produces numbers that appear to be completely random. This is called the rand function, which you can see I'm going to uncomment here in my for loop. I'm going to call this function a series of times and print the value that is stored from the function call into R. When I run the program, notice that what we end up getting is a list of numbers, 10 numbers, from the rand function. And at first glance, they seem to be random numbers. However, if I was to regenerate or recompile this program and run the code again, notice that we're getting the exact same numbers every single time we run the program. And this could happen as many times as we want to, and it would not change because it's only random for this instance of the program. So in order to actually generate truly random numbers, we will actually have to use something called a seed. And I'd like to mention that in order to use both rand and srand, you will need to include the #include cstdlib, or the C standard library. In order to do the next step that we're about to go through here, about actually generating truly random numbers rather than pseudo-random numbers, you will also have to include the ctime, or the time.h library. So in order to make rand truly random, we will have to seed our function. And this is done by using srand, which is another function call. And this can be done anywhere in the program. I generally tend to do it once at the top of the program before I do the work that I'm about to do with random numbers. It can also be done in the instance or the scope that you choose to do pseudo-random numbers in. So in order to use the srand function, we're going to pass in another function called time. Time is what is actually coming from the ctime library, and it allows us to set a random value, or a null value in this case. You can say this two ways. You can say srand times 0, and you can also say srand time null. These mean exactly the same thing. What this does is it gives us a truly unique randomized function. Every time that we start the program, srand is seeded with time 0. And what that means is that every time we call rand now, when the function starts up, we will be producing truly random numbers every time that we generate the numbers. So I'm going to run the code now. And I want you to pay attention to what happens when we run the code a second time. So I'm going to take particular entrance as the last entrance here, or the last value that was outputted. So we have a number ending in 826. And if I look here, we're actually getting a different number for every single one of these. So every single number is different. And if we were to recompile again, you would get another set of 10 numbers. The other thing to note here is that the numbers that are generated in a range up to or including rand max, which is usually set as the largest possible value that an integer can contain. But this is specific to the program or the environment that you're using. That's all for this video. Thanks and happy coding.